curious about the actual technical counting. You know, how many people have those counters? I mean, when you see, you know, you're going 10, 20, 30, 40, and maybe you have 150 there, how are you actually clicking all of that? I'm just.
1, 2, 3.
You are awesome.
We have each day we have the official counter, the person's in charge.
Yeah, one person.
One
Either
person's
side,
in charge,
okay.
but that person might say, okay, we've got birds that are roosting over to the south. We want you to concentrate on those birds, let us know when they take off. Someone else might be looking to the east. And when they do come over, they're usually going to be moving around in circles. And then finally, they're gonna start streaming.
So you don't count them when
You
they're.
never count them when they're, and there's directives. We got Henderson Canyon, which is to the north, and we've got Borrego Valley Road, or DeGiorgio Road is the name of the road. So you got these two roads where they cross going this way or going this way, they're countable. And we are trying to be very conservative, so we don't double count. But only one person is actually going to tabulate where the others are helping. And then, of course, you've got the problem of turkey vultures coming through at the same time. Plus, there are about 12 other species, but mainly it's the Swainson hawks. And we got a Perugian hawk, for instance, that might come through, and we'll have one individual that's just a spotter, not counting. And he'll say, oh, there's a kestrel coming through, and it's coming through with the hawks, etc.
So if there's one official counter and there's 12 other people there who are they doing their own kind of count and then you sort of check
No,
it against?
you'll be working in different parts of the sky,
Okay.
and someone will say, okay, we've got birds over here behind us. We're gonna work on those, and then this person's working over here. And then, of course, you have the form, and then someone's filling out. And usually we only have about 4 or 5 people that are on the main hill. And by the way, that hill was a tractor came by and just lopped it all together for us. So that's basically how it's done.
In Borrego, they do one counts, but when we were down in Mexico, you saw that
Oh.
they had counters on
Yeah.
paper, and they're counting like hundreds. One click is 100. And they're doing different species. We had one gentleman that he was in charge of counting the doves, and he never looked away. They were giving him, refilling his counters as he was counting. It was insane.
Fortunately for us, we actually see the birds coming off the ground or coming out of the trees. So that we got an idea of which direction they're going to go.
So I have a couple questions. So the counter, it goes up to a certain number. What's the number it goes up to? The counter itself?
Well, the counter itself just keeps going,
To $9.99.
except there's the joke about my counter that was going 10, 20, 30. I had a misguided counter. But
And then-
yeah,
Is the reason that you don't count it when they're in a kennel, because you might double count?
right, and they're twisting around and going in several different directions.
And then also, so
So they-
glad you got that painting. That looked like it was a really cool painting.
All that painting.
Yeah.
They surprised me. I still do not know to this day who paid for it. But how much was it, Joanne? About $800 for that painting. He came out, he did that painting in less than an hour. We've got what's called plein air painters that come into town, and they have to do it in a certain period of time. And they do an exhibit, it's off the charts, and it's quite beautiful. An artist over here is asked that question. In fact, she's come into town with some of her art.
What's the window for your hawks in Borrego?
We are beginning to see with changes in environmental changes and climate change, they're coming in earlier. We had hawks, we had a kettle of hawks just after the new year. Normally, mid-March is the key point if you're going to come for the hawks, anywhere from about the 12th to the 25th of March was probably the best time. You could see hundreds. If we have flowers, we'll send the word out, and then folks will come from all over. Because the flowers bring the insects and the insects bring the hawks. Anything else?
You just count them in the morning, like not at night.
At night, we make an estimate. I would say that about 90% of the time when we do the count in the evening, it's lower than the number that come out the next day. And we have had days where we've counted 15, 20 birds in the evening and 500 to 1,000 the next day. So we know that the birds can see much better than us, obviously, up to 15 times better maybe. And they can with a little bit of light. When we leave in the evening, they're still flying in. We have seen shadows, I mean, the sky filled with shadows in the past. And of course, part of the uniqueness of our count is the evening, the fact that we could see them in the evening before they take off the next morning. And do they stay in town for longer than a day? Occasionally, but most often they're gone the next day. They're anxious to go north.
How much effort is being put into protecting that habitat that they're using? Is that at risk?
The habitat they're using in town, they love eucalyptus trees for roosting, by the way. Think about it, eucalyptus trees, non-native, it's a Mediterranean tree. But they're used to eucalyptus trees because they find eucalyptus trees in Argentina. They're all over the place. And so they know the eucalyptus trees and they're high enough. If you took all the eucalyptus trees out of our town, you say to yourself, where were they 150 years ago when we had creosote trees, a couple of other trees. We had some desert willows that they might have sat on too. And strangely, they will roost on the ground in the evenings and early in the morning. Coyotes will walk right past them and not attack the birds. We've never seen a coyote go after any of the Swainson's hawks. Whether they know the Swainson's hawks are going to take off, it's hard to say.
Big beaks.
Any other? Yes.
When you're bouncing around the valley there, is access any issue for you?
Access to different sites?
Yeah.
The town has been very acceptable. There are a few spots that we had to get special permission. There was some orange grove areas and grapefruit areas that they don't want us to hang out. But we have a friend that has a friend who lets it in. And we go out there in the evening. We actually have driven by where they have 500 birds sitting in the trees all around us. By law, you're not supposed to get in close to them. We've had very few issues with people actually bothering the birds. Any others? Yes.
What's the ratio of dark morph to light morph?
Ooh, good. That is a good question. And we've been doing some morph studies. If you look at the literature, indications are that California nesting birds are mainly dark. We're finding more light birds than dark birds. And we have the ratio. It's interesting because there are periods of the season when the predominant phase would be, not phase, the color, and it's not a phase, by the way. They're born white, they're born dark, they're born reddish. And those are the three main color groups. I believe we've got more light than we do dark. And we don't have a lot of rufous. I guess maybe that particular genetic type, there's just not a lot of. But we believe we're getting more light than dark. I don't know if that answered your question.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what is gonna happen with that tract of land that you were looking at towards the end of the film to purchase?
First of all, we're not gonna put any kind of structure. That's not gonna happen. We're not gonna put, if we do, it's going to be a dune. And fortunately, on the land that we're at, a fellow that owns the land brought a tractor out and they actually created a dune so that we could watch. And I believe we need just a bigger dune and a wider dune. And that's what's gonna happen. We are not gonna get a structure. To maintain the structure, the cost involved in it is just, and plus there's all kinds of rules now in our town about building. And it would be tough.
So are you renting that property or?
No, we are getting permission to use it.
To use it?
Yes, they've been very good. We don't talk about the night site because we don't have permission there because they have no idea we're there. We're talking about 21 years we've been going out there and no one has come out to bother us, which is kind of nice. You're not gonna tell anybody. But yeah, so we're not putting any money into the site for watching, which is really nice. But it would be neat to have one of those cranes that goes up higher so we could actually see. Yes, and we know there are better sites, but we'd have to go into Coyote Canyon for about 2 miles and it's sort of 4-wheel drive. And there's a site there where we're actually seeing other species like golden eagles. I actually have seen bald eagles. By the way, bald eagles are nesting only about 15-20 miles away. We hardly ever see them. So it's kind of interesting. There are other better sites. And Hawkwatch International in the 70s was looking for places in California. They never did come into the town, but they went up to the highest elevation, which is 8,800 feet up. Yeah, but they said it would be tough to get to. And since 9/11, no one can get up there. They're completely knocked down. You know, you just cannot go overlooking anywhere in the valley anymore. Yeah.
How long of a commute is it from your house to the Hawkwatch?
Don't tell my wife, but I could do it in 4.5 to 6 minutes. In distance, it's 4.5 miles. So it's wonderful in that respect. But boy, I'll tell you, if I get the call, well, we've got 400 birds that are coming in. I will be out there in about 4.5 to 5 minutes. Normally, it should take 12 minutes. And I can be out of the pickleball. Anyone pickleball? Pickleball was there a couple. Yeah, I'd be out of the pickleball court and I'll get a call and I'll just drop the paddle and go. It does happen occasionally. Yeah. So what's nice? It's very convenient to town itself. From downtown to the Hawkwatch is about 2.5 miles. So yeah, everything is close in our town. And if you're talking about buying anything, you want to get away, except for 4 months, but it's 115 degrees. The price of real estate in our town is about 1/3 of San Diego and other areas. So you're gonna get a 2,000 square foot home. I don't know, I'm pushing. 2,000 square foot home, you can get for 350,000.
I think the movie was just phenomenal, very moving, really, you did a great job. What is the future of the movie, you know, what plans do you have to spread the word?
So the future though, you guys are actually seeing a bit of an unfinished version. It's about 97% finished. We're having a couple more tweaks, including having music specifically composed for this film, because currently this is music that's copyrighted. But the plan is, there's a couple of things. After we finish it, we would like to do film festivals. We would like to do more screenings like this. So if you know any contacts or any groups that you would like to have this screened at, our main goal is to really get the word out, because this is a very, very special experience and unique phenomenon that happens. So we want to make sure many people know about it, and also the fact of protecting the land, because currently there's no threat to the land, but you just never know what's going to happen. There is a lot of solar that's coming up. I'll mention the eucalyptus trees. You know, those could go any day. So we just really, really want to make sure that the message is put out there. So to answer your question, film festivals, private screenings, Audubon Club, you know, just getting the word out as much as we can. Then after a year, we'll look for a place to have it screening on a major screening platform. Yeah.
You know, yeah, if you're in the films, we have a film festival in our town that's really quite remarkable. Is it 4 days now, 4 or 5 days? Yeah, it's really wonderful. And she's very much involved with the film festival. We won, but because it was a local film, we really didn't win. But when everyone voted, they voted this film. But then it didn't come. They love the film, so, yes, it's a wonderful festival, yeah.
Well, I have an idea for a fundraiser for you. You can sell those cool t-shirts you're wearing.
Yeah.
Is that a nice shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the film is, this is from up north, up south in Mexico. Yeah, this is not the local T-shirt, but yeah, I had to choose a T-shirt. We had one, it was in the film. And what happened? I forgot to bring it to Chicago with me. That was made specifically for the Hawkwatch. So if you come out, you've got my information, make sure, because you know, how many people stayed at our house? 80 people one day? You know, we'll make sure you're taken care of.
So I have a question for you all now. How many of you want to come to Borrego Springs after learning about the Hawkwatch?
Been there, done this.
These guys have been there, yeah.
Now you know, if we get some folks together, we did McGee Marsh this year, you know, there's room for another further field trip next year. Get some people who want to organize it. DBC goes to Borrego Springs.
There you go.
Has a bridge to it.
You see 'em.
What that brings me to think about, have you shown this to the Chamber of Commerce at Borrego Springs, who could definitely have a.
Another story, huh?
And their, economy there.
That's all part of the plan. That's all part of the time. Yeah, great idea though. Thank you.
More restaurants, more.
We're 25 miles from the Salton Sea, by the way. And it's still there. However, it's going fast. Yeah, so if you wanna add a bunch of birds to your life list, Salton Sea was a good. It's still worth it. Yeah.
Might be driving. Lithium.
Oh, lithium, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us see it.
Well, I just want to thank Matt for helping. You are Superman. You came to the rescue.
Thank you. Thank you all for tolerating technical difficulties this evening. It was a bit.
And thank you for watching it. We're thrilled to, as I mentioned earlier, to show it to you with Hal's, you know, Hal's home turf. So thank you very much, and shout out to my family who came to support also.